Hi, welcome. I'm Sandra, and I am the founder and creator of Icelandic AI.
And my name is Chris. I'm the co-founder and the guy you probably most recognize from the toilet scene in our ads or the gormless guy making a fool of himself. Most of those actually happened. We wanted to make a quick video on this fun Saturday afternoon, just so for those of you who wanted to see a bit more of the product before confirming whether you were wanting to try it out. This should give you enough insight, guided by our genius creator, Sandra. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass this back to her, and then I'm going to be asking her some of the questions you have submitted at the end of this video. Over to you, Sandra.
Yes, well,
Thank you, Chris. Tack fyrir. So since some of you have asked for a free trial, we figured maybe do a demo and a walkthrough so that you can have a complete look into everything that Icelandic AI has to offer. I will take you through one of the units of the Icelandic 2 course of Icelandic AI. And obviously for you, once you're in the platform, on your left side, you will see, so the left side of the platform, you will see all of the units that are available to you. But for you, they will be locked at the beginning because you have to pass some assessments to unlock them and be able to complete it. For me, though, everything is unlocked, so I have picked the unit on modal verbs to demonstrate to you. So basically, what you want to see is probably the lessons, and that is the part that we are most proud of, that is the coolest looking and has the most content. So we have included in this course interactive video lessons. We have grammar tools, we have pronunciation tools, we have tests to measure your progress, we have flashcards, and I will showcase all of that. So on the screen here, you can see me, and this is the digital version of me. So my voice, my character, everything, and I'm teaching you from inside. And yeah, let's hear how it goes. Let's hear how it starts.
Hæ, gaman að sjá þig. Hvað þarft þú að gera í dag?
Welcome to our modal verb adventure. This is going to be one of those lessons you get to apply immediately in daily life. Modal verbs are those verbs that help us express what we have to do, what we want to do, and what we are allowed to do. Let's first remind ourselves of how much we already know how to say.
Ég kann að segja hvernig ég lít út. Ég kann að segja hvað ég kann að gera. Ég kann að segja hvað mér finnst gaman að gera. Ég kann að segja hvað mig langar í.
So here I remind you of all of the stuff you've already learned in level 2, if you are in Icelandic AI in the course. Every video will start with an overview of what is about to happen in it. So let's have a little listen to that as well.
Enough for level 2. Today we learn how to express ourselves in 3 new flavors. What we have to do, what we must do versus what is not allowed, and what we intend to do when you're planning your life and thinking about your next holiday. Unfortunately, you need to keep in mind your daily obligations.
That's right. You can't plan anything without knowing what you have to do. But yes, let me show you some of the meat of the lesson, so what it looks like. So say we are comparing these 2 ways of expressing what you have to do. Then you will see me somewhere in the corner giving you an explanation, usually in English, then combined with the Icelandic, and some examples. So let's have a look at that as well.
Upp í rúm.
These are things you do for and because of you. There is no outside pressure. But this bad boy, on the other hand, means that you have to do something that's expected of you. And these things are usually not fun.
Ég á að mæta í vinnuna snemma. Ég á að borga reikninginn.
Well, there you go. Now that you know that you have to pay your bills, I will also show you a fun feature of our interactive videos, and it's the interactivity. So after you have listened to the lesson and made your notes and done some studying, then we'll have a quiz for you where you can check, you can reinforce what you learned, and you can check if you retained it or if you have to go back and rewatch it, because you can do that as many times as you want. So I'll just play you the quiz so that you can see what that looks like.
Look at the following examples. Pay special attention to the context provided, then pick the appropriate verb. See you on the other side.
Ég kemst ekki í kvöld. Ég á að vinna. Ég svöng en ég þarf að fara út í búð.
Okay, so that was a little taste test of what you can expect. Then you can see every time you pick your answer, if it is correct, in this case it was, then I will say it to you out loud in Icelandic, and you will get a little explanation of why that is correct. So it caters to you if you are a visual learner. It also caters to you if you learn better by listening. And of course, there's a lot of repetition involved. If you want to do it over and over again, you can. So this is what a lesson would look like. And accompanying that lesson, usually the content you learn will be practiced in a little dialogue video. So there's like a real life scenario with our two main characters, because we have a storyline. We basically have a Ross and Rachel, or a Jim and Pam, depending on your generation and what you like to watch. So say we're practicing these modal verbs and what you need to do, and then you have a scenario from real life where one of our characters needs to do something. So in the case of the video I'm showing you now, she needs to move out. Excuse me. She's pretty stressed. Life is difficult. Let's hear a little bit of that.
Hæ, gaman að sjá þig. Velkomin aftur.
Oh no. Monica just got some upsetting news. She needs to leave her apartment by the end of next month. With the rental market in the capital area being difficult, our two protagonists might have to find a creative solution to Monica's problem.
There it is. Not too many spoilers for you until you get into the platform and community yourself. So in this type of video, you will have an objective outlined every time. So what you are actually trying to get out of their dialogue.
To need. And I like or dislike. We will also touch on some rental vocabulary and chores, and learn 3 new phrases to improve natural conversation flow. Let's all sit down on Monica's couch and listen in.
And now I will just show you a snippet of their actual dialogue so that you get to meet the characters. So this is a really insider look into what you would get. So here are Ásgeir and Monica having a chat.
Hæ, hvað að frétta?
Ekkert gott. Ég þarf að flytja út fyrir lok apríl.
Leigusalinn er að fara að selja íbúðina.
Úff, ert þú búin að finna nýja?
Ekki ennþá. Leigumarkaðurinn er sturlaður.
So, what do you think? I think it's pretty nice. So you get the translation underneath. You can actually also slow it down or speed it up and rewatch it. So once you have the conversation completed between the characters and our storyline progresses, then you will hear me. So you will see on the screen demonstrated the vocabulary from the lesson, and you also hear me read it out. So say it out loud so you can be comfortable with how it's supposed to be pronounced, as well as it's not just words on a screen or on paper. You can also hear it. Like so.
Leiga. Leigumarkaður. Sóði. Að þurfa. Ég þarf. Að selja. Ég sel. Að flytja út. Ég flyt út.
So there you have the vocab. After that, there will be a grammar spotlight. So which aspects of grammar we practiced in this particular dialogue. And other than the grammar, we'll have a particularly interesting bit where you practice a few phrases that you can use in everyday conversations. So this is usually something that comes up a lot, and then in the moment when you need to remember it, you're like, oh, but here they are.
Gems this time. Ask someone, what's new? It's a question that literally means, what is there to report? Tell someone you need to think before making a decision. And introduce some humble honesty into your communication. Let's hear what they are supposed to sound like.
Hvað er að frétta? Ég þarf að hugsa málið. Til að segja þér satt, þetta er hræðilegt.
Þetta er hræðilegt. And there you go. And once you've looked through all of that, you've learned a lot of new things, then I will give you some questions about the dialogue, and you are going into the quiz. And there are various types of quizzes throughout Icelandic AI. So this particular one, once you answer a question, you get to check it. So let me demonstrate.
Ready, set, go.
Hvernig er leigumarkaðurinn?
Yes.
Er Ásgeir sóði?
Is he a slob? Yes. No. He's lazy.
Hvað finnst Ásgeiri leiðilegt?
Look at how much I know.
Hvað finnst Móniku gaman? Ætlar Mónika að flytja inn til Ásgeirs?
That was it for today. Well done.
And there you go. So this quiz in particular, it wasn't scored, so it was just there for you to check your knowledge and how it went. And once you've had fun with that, then you can move on to practice. So not just video interactive practice, but say go into some flashcards. So let's get in here. Okay, so the flashcard tool, we built it from scratch, but you're probably familiar with how flashcards work, obviously. So you have a word or a phrase in one language, and then you have it translated into the target language so you can remember it. And all of the flashcards are accompanied by audio recorded by me, so you'll hear my voice. So if you are feeling a bit fatigued or weak, you are
Slappur.
slappur, and so on. Once you've completed all the flashcards, up here it will say 15 of 15. Wonderful. And then you can use the practice feature where you have to match up the English with the Icelandic. So if we just learned that weak, slightly weak means slappur, correct. And you get a nice little motivational sound. Once you've mastered all of them, it will be written for you up here in the right corner. If you want to start again, you can reset. If you want to shuffle the deck to make it a little bit more difficult for you, you can do that as well. When you're happy with that progress, then we move on to my favorite tool, which is the pronunciation one. So we had a lot of fun building this. You have two things that you can practice with this tool, which is saying a phrase out loud. So you can just read it and say it out loud. You can listen to it first by clicking on the little listen button. And if you want it to be pronounced slower or faster, chipmunk speed, you have 5 different speed options. And now I'm going to pronounce it. Let's see. Hvað þarft þú að gera í dag? I was very nervous there. Imagine if it wasn't 100% correct. So obviously, if it's green, it means that you pronounced it perfectly fine. And if it's green and bold, it means you really, really did a great job. And then in case your pronunciation isn't frábært, but just good, or maybe needs repetition, let's hear how this would sound. So I'm going to try and pronounce it not as well. Hvað þarft að gera í banana? Oh, there's a lot happening now. So you can see in bold, these words were correct. These were fine. This it recognized as something you just really need to repeat to make sure that it's good. This one was so-so. And then you get like a final little score of the whole thing that you said. So then you would just keep practicing until you're happy. Other than pronouncing it out loud, we also have a feature where you have to translate it from English. So you can kind of practice your brain a little bit more. But it's the same phrases that you have previously said out loud. So you kind of repeat it over and over again, and it really forces you to retain them properly. Once this is done, we bow, vel gert, þú ert búin, you're done, and you can move on. For practicing grammar, we have several different tools. So this one that I'm showing you now is a conjugation tool where you practice the present tense of these modal verbs that we learned in that video that I showed you. So what you would do here is you would just select the verb from a list. So let's say we select I need to or have to do something, and then you would practice it. So for starters, because we don't know it yet, the perfect thing to do is click Show Answers. And there you have the conjugation. And then you can, if you memorize better by writing it down, you write it down. I myself memorize things best when I say them out loud. So I would then say, okay, ég þarf, þú þarft, hann þarf, við þurfum, þið þurfið, og þeir þurfa. When I'm confident, I reset it and I start practicing. So you could either fill in the blanks or you can drag and drop. The perfect start is drag and drop because you have options, right? So you can just pick from several options. So, ég þarf, þú þarft. Oopsie. That's what it looks like. Ta-da, 100%. If you like this little noise, if it's encouraging to you, perfect. If you don't, bottom right, you can switch it off. So it doesn't always have to sound. When you're very confident, you can fill in the blanks and you can do this more independently. There you go. That is the grammar tool. And of course, when you're confident with your knowledge, you've mastered these modal verbs. Now, all that's left to do is your test. So you can't move on to another unit until we've made sure that this has settled properly. So you start your test. And we have several formats of tests. Sometimes you have one question at a time that you have to submit before moving on. Sometimes you just have a section like this. So this consists of multiple choice options. Click. Click again. Who needs to take out the trash? Hopefully not me, but let's say I'll do it. Ég skal. And other than multiple choice, of course, we have filling in the blanks. If you don't have an Icelandic keyboard yet, or you're not comfortable with one, you will have the keys down here anytime you need them. Then you move on. And one of my favorite features here is that we are testing not just grammar and writing things down and recognizing pictures. We also want to test your ears. So almost every single test will have some listening practice in it. Like so. So we want to know what Monica is feeling like right now.
Hæ, hvað er að frétta?
Ekkert gott. Ég þarf að flytja út fyrir lok apríl. Leigusalinn er að fara að selja íbúðina.
I think you can hear it in her voice that she's stressed, even if you don't understand what's going on. Other than that, obviously, we need to make things a bit harder sometimes, so there will be questions that are required, that require a full answer, full sentence, so from beginning to end. When does she have to move out? She has to... It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you. Once you're done with your test, obviously you will submit it. Yes, I'm sure I want to submit it. I have not answered 9 questions, so the result is not going to be amazing. Oops. And there we go. I failed it. So I can retake the test, or I can get the feedback report. So once you do that, it will show you what you did correctly. And then the answers, for example, the ones I didn't fill in, you will get it written out here. So you'll learn through this as well. These tests usually require a score of 60%, and then once you've passed it, you can move forward. The last thing you do when you want to complete your course is you will have to do a final test. And this is something you do on your own, no spoilers. And yeah, that's basically it for how the platform looks. We're very proud of it. I'm very excited for you to try it out and to learn through it. And yes, we are always available. If you need me for anything, you can be in touch. Let's get Chris back.
I've just come back from the netherworld. Thank you very much, Sandra, for walking us through that. It was very thorough, and every time that you show this, I realize how much work went into it across the videos, the tools, the editing, the recording, the voice recordings, and yeah, it's been well over a year in the making, and we're very excited that people can now get to see it. I'm also curious whose voice they think Ásgeir is. I am just going to, as mentioned at the start, ask you a series of questions which we have been emailed to us, or people have sent us on Instagram, Facebook, or even just direct and through emails I didn't know that we had shared. So first of all, the most pressing question is number 1. Is Icelandic AI union reimbursable?
Of course, that's the first question. Yes, it is union reimbursable. So we are in touch with the unions and they are reimbursable. So you don't have to worry. It's a good idea only if you are unsure of what your rights are in the union, whatever. If you need to contact them, you can do that. But you make sure when you buy your course to type in your kennitala, and then we will give you an invoice that says the payment has been confirmed, your kennitala is on it, and all the info you need will be on it, so you don't need to talk to us again and then talk to the union and go back to us. It's all very streamlined and seamless, and we really made sure that it works like this.
Yeah, I'll just add to that as soon as you purchase, you're going to get about 4 or 5 emails, some welcoming you to the platform to set up your password, and you're straight in. I've had quite a number of signups so far, and been no problem. And also there will be an automated invoice from our invoicing system, which has all that information, so you can just literally forward it on, and all the unions have confirmed. So pretty solid there. The second one, which crops up quite a lot, because we obviously have an aptitude test, which is a bit of a rule of thumb, I would say. What course should I take? So which one should they take?
Good question. And as Chris said, the aptitude test can give you some guidance. But the recommendation from me, as the person who created this, is do the whole program. We had testers do this who have completed 3 or 4 or sometimes even 5 levels in Icelandic language schools. And they went through levels 1 and 2, and they said that there are some things that really filled the holes in the knowledge very nicely, and especially in terms of grammar and just structure, and just so that they are confident that they didn't just memorize certain things when they were learning, but also just understood them really well. And because Ásgeir and Monica's story goes from when they meet to, you'll find out if you get into the courses. I don't want you to miss out on that. And the courses are built basically on a foundation that is aligned with the European framework, if you're familiar with this. So it goes from the very beginnings, and then it's structured like step by step, like a puzzle, interwoven. So I do recommend you just take the whole thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and also I think the main thing is the retention that you learn, particularly if you've gone to some classrooms, some language schools, and there are certain grammar rules that just haven't stuck, or you've missed a lesson, or you've just had a crap teacher. If I'm being honest with you, sometimes.
No, I mean it's nice to have everything at hand. You have everything when you need it.
Yeah.
Just, even if it's just the basics.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next question is, how long does it take to complete a course?
So the course, because it's on demand and you can do it as often or as rarely as you like, for me, I would say a month is the sweet spot, so you don't rush through it and you don't take too much time. So yeah, let's say 4 to 6 weeks, ideal. If you're a fast learner, or if you just really have the time and you're very motivated, you could do it as quickly as like 2 weeks. And if you're very busy, if you have difficult life, long shifts, you could take 6 to 8 weeks. Who knows? So it's up to you. But we would say 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's very fair, and for the people that we've seen on the platform, even the first couple of days, it's huge variance. Some people are going back to back on it, and others are taking it at more of a steady pace. Having QA'd, well, obviously you and I have gone through all the courses many times.
Yeah.
It can't be done in a day. It takes a lot of time, just in case someone is trying to go a bit mental with it.
Yeah.
Number 4 is, I guess we sort of touched on this a little bit. Is Icelandic AI comparable to a language school?
Yes, it is. So I made it, and I've taught in language schools, so I now have experience with both. So I basically built on that experience, and I built it on what I think that the learners need. So people who have learned with me told me that, they need the structure, they need the repetition, they need the exercises, the practice. So the courses are very comprehensive. They basically are like a digital language school, but it has the added bonus of you being able to return to something if you need to do it again, or if you just not retained it properly, or if you just didn't have the time or you zoned out, you always have it available. You don't have any inconsistency in terms of who is teaching. So you know that it's always going to be me. It's going to be the same style. So if this is something you're happy with, you will not come into a classroom one day to level 2 to an amazing teacher, and then level 3 to somebody who is somebody's grandma who needs some extra cash, which sometimes happens. Sorry. So it's consistent. It's always there. It's built on a very solid framework. It has a lot of content. Yeah, it's basically a school.
Thanks. And I'd probably add to that just because you obviously taught numerous, well over 1,000 students, that one of the things that people do get with Icelandic AI within the community, which I think we'll show in a second, is that they get access to you as well. And we've already had that so far where people can ask questions, and you're very much on it in terms of responding and also giving like tips of videos. I think you recorded a video the other day in terms of how to roll the R's and stuff like that. So
yeah, the tip is coming. It's going to get uploaded very soon.
So I think it's just important to highlight that people are not just on this alone, that they have your support throughout. Which brings me on to... Sorry, go on.
Can I just say that I do think that's really valuable as well, because you not only get digital courses, lessons, practice, but if there's something that is specifically you think that you need something more, or you're not completely sure about anything, you can ask in the community, and I will respond. So I will be there. So you have an access to a living teacher as well. You're not completely isolated at home in your bubble.
I think it just coming on to that now, it's probably worth us just quickly showing the community if you want to share your screen there.
Of course. There it is, my screen. Yeah. So I'm logged in here as a user. So I'm pretending to be one of you guys learning. I'm in my home screen, and up here there's the community section. So if you click on that, let's see if there's anything happening. You can see on the right side it says Sandra. I don't have a picture, but you know who it is. Yeah, here we are welcoming you to the platform. We have a lot of different chats, and this is one of my favorites. Hvað heitir þú? So what is your name? Where I would like to get to know you. And there you go. Some users are already active. Hello, hello. There's Rob. There is James. And there's us responding. So I would always come here and ask you a follow-up question. So yeah, you can actually practice your Icelandic here as well with us. So not only me, but maybe other learners as well.
Excellent. I'll just get us back to the chat here. And on to the next one. And this one's come up quite a lot. You had some direct questions about this from numerous people. Why is it called Icelandic AI, and are there any AI hacks in the course? Don't know fully what that means, to be honest, but
now, I do understand that question, and I do understand people being skeptical of AI. However, this is not a magic trick where you click a button and everything gets translated by AI. There's absolutely no content in Icelandic AI that is generated by AI, if that makes sense to you. So everything was created by me. Everything was built basically by me. And it's called AI because it's modern technology, and because, as you've seen in the videos, the teacher is a digital render of me. So that is helped by AI. But that just means, and also all the tools that we built are built on some AI support. But again, and I can't stress it enough, they were done by me and humans. It took us a while to make it, and it's really great, really comprehensive, and there were no shortcuts whatsoever. And the AI bit allows us also to later on translate the content so that it's available for people to learn it through their own mother language. So they don't all have to learn it through Icelandic. Sorry, through English.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that point that we decided to do that, and all the translations are being contextualized, so there's no Google Translate or anything like that, no nonsense. We wanted it to be the same standard across all the languages, and that's just why that's the reason it takes a lot of time to do. And we'll
we do have a team of people working on it. So there's none of it has been done with a Google Translate or a ChatGPT Translate. No. Absolutely not.
And interestingly, just for people listening, just to express this problem, is that the people learning people learning Icelandic as immigrants in Iceland, only 4% of them are coming from native English-speaking countries like myself. So it's a big gap to miss off, and we really want to leverage this tech to make it far more accessible to people of all different levels.
Yeah, that's true.
And this naturally leads on to the next question, which is, what is coming next? And I presume that means courses, languages, and that variety.
Yeah. So obviously now we have levels 1 and 2 out, and levels 3 and 4 are coming really soon. So that's the immediate next step. And we are also then working on having my digital teacher teach the content in other languages. So we're going to do teaching in Croatian, because that's my mother tongue, so I'm comfortable with it, Polish, Russian, and then we're going to do some more languages in the year to come. So yeah, we want this to be available to everyone. It's really, really important to us. And then we do have some surprises of some interesting things that we are thinking of making soon as well. But yeah, we just don't want you to know that quite yet. We'll be in touch when everything's ready.
Exactly, the Sandra files. The next, that's a terrible joke. The next one, there's only a few more. So how long did it take to make? Honest answer.
Ages. I have gone grey. No, it took us about a year and a half to get everything set up. So we had to build the tools from scratch. We had to make these really cool looking videos all from scratch. I had to make all the content. So yeah, it took a while, and it's obviously still in the making. So you can see, since it's taken so long, that it's definitely not something that is done very quickly or as a shortcut or as an AI prompt. Yeah, 18-ish months.
I think as a caveat to that, the amount of time, people probably don't appreciate this, but I know that even on New Year's Eve up until nearing midnight, you were still working on editing the videos and making sure everything was spot on. So there's been a lot of pain, love, tears, everything has gone into this product.
I mean, they didn't really have to know that I have no social life, but that's okay.
Hey,
Thanks.
you probably got a 10 from a computer screen in the meantime. Okay, so last two questions. This one, I think only you can answer. Tell us a little bit about you and your experience learning Icelandic and why you are the the person to create Icelandic AI. I think is translated.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I moved to Iceland almost 10 years ago, so I immediately started learning it. I think if Icelandic AI or something similar, like a digital course, was available then, it would have helped me immensely. But yes, I've taken some courses. I learned with people. I went to Háskóli Íslands. It was a bit messy. But I'm a linguist and I'm good with languages. So once I've learned it, I started teaching, and I have now been teaching Icelandic for well over half a decade. And I have met so many interesting and wonderful people who have been learning, who are still learning, who are just amazing. And yeah, I've seen what their needs are. I've seen what is missing here. I've seen the things that are gaps, say, in teaching in schools. So yes, that's why I think that I'm very qualified to do this. And I think we've done a really great job with Icelandic AI. So you can have a product that you can use anytime you want, and it will give you a great foundation, and you will build on it. And I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think it more than does. And the last one is, I guess, a bit of a lighter one. What was the trickiest part about making Icelandic AI? I think I know a little bit.
Well, there are a few tricky bits. It's just consolidating the technology with the human side, and for me, it was quite the challenge to create these video lessons to look as impressive as I really think that they do. So just consolidating all the visual elements with all the audio, making sure all the animations are right, making sure all the quizzes come together nicely so that it's seamless and it's cool and that it keeps you engaged and it makes you learn better and it's not boring. And then we also had to keep ourselves afloat financially for a year and a half. And that's been an interesting challenge. And yeah, just getting enough sleep as well has been a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I would attest to that. I think towards the end, we were the past couple of weeks before launch was 4 a.m. every single night for a long time. So I think we're both happy with that.
I mean, you can see now that we're losing light, that the bags under my eyes are not gone yet.
I wasn't going to
Hopefully
mention
soon.
anything, but
Shut up.
one of the things I would like to add just before we wrap up is that it's a very important point that Sandra makes. I think Sandra it's all scripted. There's literally no ChatGPT or any writing of. Sandra wrote everything. I know this because some misspellings when we curate it, and it really injects your personality and your teaching style, which I mean I knew because I was one of your students from years ago, into the course, into all of the courses. And one of the challenges that I would give to anybody who is getting into some of your levels is how many times does DJ Khaled pop up in some of the videos? Because that was quite a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of DJ Khaled in there because there's a lot of questions, and every time there's another one.
Spoilers there.
Well, you can count it.
I mean, I curated it, and there was I curated with alongside you, and then we did it a billion times. But there were a lot of laugh out loud moments, which actually made the learning experience far more enjoyable.
I just don't want you to be bored.
I think that just about wraps this up. If anyone has watched the entirety of this thing, I hope it has clarified whether Icelandic AI is a fit for you, because our ambition is to make this the leading Icelandic language product in Iceland, globally, but obviously it's Icelandic. So if you have any questions after this, you can message us on social media, or you can drop us an email at hello@icelandic.ai. I'll put it in the description. But thank you very much for taking the time to check it out. And I will leave Sandra to say her goodbyes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for watching this, for listening, and I hope it answers a lot of your questions, that you're happy having seen some of the courses now. And we did this for you, and we hope that you're happy. And if there are any questions that come up at any point, we are always here. So this is an interaction. This is an open conversation. We want to hear from you, and do be in touch, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. And that is it. I think I need to have a nap. If there's anything, message. Tack för er. Sjáumst.
Thanks, guys. Bye.